Hello guys and welcome back to TNT Madness. Today we are going to be looking at the best and fastest way to build a regen wall. There are several different ways to make regen walls, but most of them are quite similar, and I have built several regen walls in the past. I've even made a tutorial on how to do them, but the most cringy part about building regen walls is building the lava inside, or placing down the individual lava blocks inside, and that's what's really good about this way to build them, is it really takes the hassle out of actually placing the lava in it, or makes it a lot easier to build. So if you don't know how to regen wall, it's pretty simple. It is just essentially a really long wall with lava in the middle, and when someone blows up the very edge with a TNT cannon, the cobblestone then breaks, but then since you have water on the outside and lava on the inside, it then regenerates the wall. It's essentially just a auto-genning wall. If you've ever built a wall, then it's essentially like that, but they regen all the time and they're always active, and since a block breaks, it then instantly updates, so the block generates within like half a second or something. So that's really nice, and that's really how regen walls work, and thanks to that, they are really strong. There are some ways to break them, but if you are building just like a one-layer wall, then this is by far the strongest, and if you are building regen walls behind 20 layers of walls, then it's even stronger. So regen walls are really strong, and everyone should know how to build them. So today we are going to be looking at the best way of how to build them. So anyway, let's get on to the tutorial. So now onto the tutorial. So what you're going to need is you're going to need some building blocks, some water, and a whole lot of lava. I recommend that you have some lava lake in the nether or something, somewhere that you can refer to get tons of lava, as you'll be using 20, 30, 40 buckets, depending how big your wall is, you'll be using tons of lava. Also, I recommend that you put glass just above where your lava is going to be. I'll explain this more later on, but it just looks really cool. It's what I did at the very start between the lava and the water. So now what you're going to need is you want to set up the very length of your wall. Of course, you will probably already have this set up, but what I mean by this is you want to decide how long your wall is going to be, and the thickness of the wall is going to be at least 3 blocks, because you'll have your middle block, which is going to be your lava tunnel, then you're going to have your cobblestone on either side, which is going to be represented by this iron, and then the gold represents where the water is going to be. And the reason I don't place it here is because this is where the water is going to be. Or where the cobble is going to be on the next wall. And also one thing to note, if you are building other walls, let's say you're building a wrap, which is what they're called, or just a normally gened wall, you can place it just along here, and then of course you can continue placing along with the gold still representing water. And also one other thing is you can place corner pillars in really awkward spots like here, while normally you would have to place a corner pillar way out here for it to actually be effective. So that's one nice thing about these walls, and honestly that just makes it a little bit easier, and just some basic info about regen walls. So the next thing you're going to need to do is lay out blocks that are free apart from each other. If you're building this at sky limit, that's good, because then you can let this go all the way down to the bottom. The first thing you want to do is lay out areas with just middle blocks with 2 blocks in between them, or 3 blocks apart like this. And then after you've done this, this is the special part of what we are going to do for this tutorial, is you want to place blocks in a shape like this on the very outside, so that way, I'll explain later on, but we can actually place the lava in much easier. So you just want to place down blocks like this on the very edge. And now what you generally do is you'll place down lava like so, and then wait for it to go all the way down to bedrock. And as you can see, the one thing that we are going to do is we have one block that lava doesn't cover, and they'll be very important later, so just stick around. So now that lava has reached the very bottom of where you're going to be building this, now what you want to do is you want to place water on top of those blocks, and you want to do this for all the blocks. And as you can see now, this will start generating the cobblestone, but the one very important thing that it doesn't do is it doesn't generate the cobblestone in the very middle bit here. And normally what you'd have to do is you'd have to go into the middle and start jumping and placing blocks, and in survival this is painful, as 99% of the time you die, and I have very horrible struggles and memories of trying to fix that. So what you actually are going to do for this is, now that you have one wall open on each thing, with these being on this side and these being on this side, is all you want to do is you want to set up some sort of ladder scaffolding, which I prefer to do, and then just go up the ladder placing lava here, and then on the thing. So we are going to have to, I think, gen in these lava by themselves, but the thing is you don't have to place the cobblestone afterwards. As soon as you place the lava, it will update and become a source block, and that way it will push lava out the side. So that way, as soon as you place the lava, it will actually gen the cobblestone, as you can see here. So the great thing about this is you can just speed up you can just sneak and speed up the ramp or the ladder, and you can just easily make all these regen walls. And this is really what makes this strategy so good. And I don't know how many people know it, but I figured this out the other day when I was in a testing world, and it is just god tier. So I'm going to be using this now whenever I'm building regen walls in survival, which of course I will be at some point on my faction server, but honestly, this just saved my life, and I'm sure it'll save a lot of people's lives. So this is pretty much it, and just try this out. It works really, really well. So now after you've made your actual regen wall, you want to make sure that these top blocks are done, and then you just want to destroy these very edge blocks, and then you just want to update the water, like so. And then this will flow down, and this is what I meant by having glass on the top, because then you can see through the lava. And as you can see, now you've got your regen wall, but it's going to be much, much easier to make. And I don't know how people can live like this. And this is probably the main reason why people tend to drift off from regen walls. So anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like. But anyway, goodbye from TNT Mad.